Basta sa akin ka sumama na, di na ako maghahanapan ng iba.
Yo, what's up mga tropa pips? Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at happy weekend sa inyo pong lahat at mga ka-scholars natin, mga ka-Yormelicious at mga ka-Iskonians. Nako, kailangan nyo po talagang panoorin itong video na to from start to finish. Etong isi-share ko na ito. At doon po sa mga tanso, ewan ko lang kung gugustuhin nila to, itong video na to. Kasi ito po ay isang matalinong pagbibigay ng reaksyon sa nangyayari ngayong panahon ng kampanyahan. Yan, at syempre marami tayong mga kaibigan, marami tayong kaanak na may kanya-kanyang pambato o manok sa pagkapresidente at hindi lahat ay nagkakaisa sa isang kandidato. So, nandito si Sir, ayan, ang pangalan niya ay Sir Kristan. Yan, si Sir Kristan. At siya ay meron siyang YouTube channel na ang pangalan ay Kristan din. At ang kanyang tinatawag na ito ay My Daily Thoughts Bubble. Ay sana po ay mapanood nyo, tapusin po ninyo hanggang matapos. Dahil ito po ay isang matalinong pagbibigay ng puntos patungkol sa nangyayari ngayon. So sana po ay mapanood nyo hanggang dulo. At maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. Ito na po yung video!
A few moments later.
Pagkatapos po ng video na ito meron po tayong reaction sa dulo. So sana po mapanood nyo din po yung aking reaction Thank you. Ito na po yung video talaga. Ito na po talaga.
You know what's on my mind? Or who's on my mind? BBM supporters. Here on my daily thought bubble. So this video is for all my friends that know me, that are supporting BBM. Or maybe people that I know that are supporting BBM. But before I get started, I just want to make a disclaimer. I want to make the disclaimer that I respect you and I respect your opinion. And I know that we all are voting for the person that we believe is the best person to run this country as president. So naniniwala ako na lahat tayo, ang intensyon naman natin ay mahalal ang isang tao na tingin natin ang makakabuti sa ating bansa. So having said that, if you're a BBM supporter na tingin mo you don't want to hear what I have to say, you can turn off the video now, it's okay. And I will respect your opinion and your decision on that. Now, hear me out lang on this one. The problem kasi right now with social media is, for everyone, is that social media has a tendency to become an echo chamber because the algorithm of social media is this. When you like a topic or when you liked or commented on a topic, social media, their algorithm will feed you more information on the topic that you liked or that you were engaged in. So that reinforces whatever you believe in. And then it keeps feeding you that same information over and over again that you won't see information outside of your perspective. So that's the echo chamber. And it reinforces and hardens your belief, yung paniniwala mo, rather than challenges it to be able to see a bigger picture. And this is what's causing a lot of the problems actually right now, is because we don't even know na ito na yung nangyayari, that there's confirmation bias. So, the irony is this. If you look at my social media right now, you would think that I'm actually a BBM supporter because I watched a lot of videos about BBM and the people that support him and yung ano yung sinasabi nila. And even my Facebook, if you look at it, it's all about BBM right now. This also happened to me during the time of Trump when I was trying to understand Trump. If you looked at my social media feed, you would think that I'm a right-wing person na really believes in Trump and supports Trump, because I would watch everything about Trump from Fox News to Newsmax to everything, and I would read all the information I can to understand that perspective. So having said that, the reason I'm doing this video is possibly to be able to create lang a bigger perspective of what you're hearing right now. I am not here to change your mind, by the way. That's not my goal. I am not here to tell you you're wrong. That's not my goal. I'm not here to make fun of you or to insult you. That's not my objective here with this video. My objective lang is to create thought, to create dialogue, to be able to create a different perspective. That's it. So if you're still listening and you're a BBM supporter, thank you. And I appreciate your time. And I appreciate the fact that you're willing to listen. You don't have to. You can turn this off right now. So, if you're still listening, I want you to ask yourself, what kind of a BBM supporter are you? So, there are several types. The first type is the type na naniniwala that the sins of the father is not the sins of the son. So, you accept that that Marcos did steal and did murder, but you don't believe that the son is like his father. The next type of BBM supporter is the one that does not believe that Marcos has stolen money from the people, from all of us, lahat tayo, lahat ng Pilipino, that he did not kill Filipinos, that he did not murder Filipinos, that he is a good leader, and that's why you're voting for the son, because he is like his father. So nakita mo dalawang very different dynamics of BBM supporters ngayon. There's a third type of BBM supporter, na the type that you're either related to the Marcoses by blood or by affinity or by marriage. Maybe one of the Marcoses is your ninong, or maybe the Marcoses helped your community somehow, or you know somebody that they helped, or you personally benefited from the Marcoses, so that's why you're supporting them. And the last type of Marcos supporter is yung type na nakita lang niya sa social media, lahat sinusupport si Marcos, so sama na lang siya, the bandwagoner, I call that. Yung, sige, dito na lang tayo, kasi parang siya naman yung sinusupport ng karamihan. So, doon na tayo sumama kung saan yung majority as they seem to see because of their surroundings. So, which one are you out of that? So, based on which one you are, I'll address each one of you separately. I'll start with the first one. Yung naniniwala ka that the sins of the father is not the sins of the son. So, I just want to be able to offer this perspective. Actually, it's correct naman that the sins of the father is not the sins of the son. I think you're absolutely correct with that mindset. One thing lang siguro we have to consider is this. Does the son believe that the father was corrupt or not? Number one. Kasi kung yung anak, tingin niya hindi corrupt yung tatay niya, or dinedenay niya yung reality na corrupt, na lahat naman tayo alam natin corrupt yung tatay at nagpumapatay tao, then there's a problem with his version of reality, of facts, right? Or number two, alam niya na corrupt yung tatay niya at namamatay tao, and yet he does not apologize for the sins of the father and the son. And there's a need to apologize, kasi if you don't, that means you are supportive of your parents' actions or your father's actions. So that's a problem. Kasi when you support that, that also means that you're a byproduct of that. Right? I know a lot of political families, and pag makita mo yung anak, they're pretty much doing what their dads do, their parents do, or their relatives do. That's why there are a lot of dynasties. And the kids are taught that by the parents, that it's okay to take money because kailangan naman tayong kumita. Parang ganun yung mentality. Next, let's say for example, you say, kahit naman, hindi naman niya kailangan mag-sorry dahil yun ang kasalanan ng kanyang tatay. Hindi naman niya kasalanan yan. Fair enough. Yeah, fair. That's a fair argument. One thing you do have to consider is this, that BBM, Marcos Jr., benefited and is still benefiting from the money, the billions of dollars that his father stole from us, sa ating lahat. Hindi lang sa ating lahat ng mga Pilipino at sa Pilipinas, ang ninakaw ni Marcos Sr. sa atin, sa ating mga anak, at sa mga anak ng ating anak. Dahil hanggang ngayon at hanggang sa ating mga grandchildren, okay, hanggang sa ating mga apo at apo ng ating mga apo, binabayaran pa natin ang mga ninakaw ng mga Marcos sa atin. At ang nakinabang doon ay si BBM. Yun nga ginagamit niya actually ngayon para mangampanya. Yun ang problema. So, yun lang yung nakikita kong problem sa mindset na yun, na parang okay lang yan. Which it's okay naman talaga na to believe that the sins of the father is not the sins of the son. But consider lang how the son looks at it. Yun lang. And if the son is not repentant, it doesn't acknowledge that there was a problem or that there was something wrong, and is not apologetic for it, then most likely that the son believes that it's okay what the father did, and that also means that he will probably do the same. Okay. I don't know that for a fact. None of us do. And maybe he won't. I don't know. But why take a chance when you have other alternatives? Diba? Yun lang naman. Kasi kung wala na tayong alternative and Marcos was the best candidate of all, yeah, let's just vote for Marcos, diba? But if we have other candidates naman na matino, hindi corrupt, walang bahid ng korupsyon, at magaling na leader, why not, diba? Okay. So, if you're let's go to the second one. If you're the Marcos supporter that believes that Marcos did not steal anything and is not a murderer, only two questions that I would love you to ponder on. Number one, kung walang ninakaw si Marcos, bakit ang gobyerno naka-retrieve ng hundreds of billions of pesos from the Marcoses? Okay, from the bank accounts of the Marcoses, nakuha na ng gobyerno. Saan nanggaling yun? Nakapangalan sa mga Marcos ngayon, hundreds of billions of pesos ha. So, yun lang. There's a problem with your facts. Yun lang. That I'd love you to research on. The information's there. Convicted na si Marcos eh. He's a convicted plunderer. He's actually convicted and the biggest plunderer of all eh. It's not an Aquino versus Marcos thing eh. The whole world saw this. It's almost unfortunate kung hindi mo nakikita yung facts na yun eh. Alright? Next, pag naniniwala ka na wala siyang pinatay na tao, na hindi siya nag-murder ng mga tao, why don't you talk to the relatives of the victims? May mga buhay pa na mga relatives ng victims, mga next of kin. Why don't you talk to them? Para malaman mo kung ano yung mga atrocities na ginawa ni Marcos during his time. It's pretty bad, actually. Let's talk about the third type of Marcos supporter. The Marcos supporter na by affinity or because they did something for your community or because he's your ninong, or maybe you just don't like the other candidates. Sige. If you're that type of a Marcos supporter, I understand you, and I'm not here to try to convince you otherwise. You have your reasons. Maybe I'll just offer this perspective. Ito lang, that bayan muna, country first before any person. Allegiance to country first before any politician. I believe that. I will never vote for anyone even if they were related to me. I would never vote for anyone just because they were related to me. I would vote for that person if I truly believe that person is the best for my country. I would vote for a stranger if that stranger was better for my country than somebody related to me. Because I believe country first before anything else. Bayan muna. So even if you're related to Marcos, or maybe he did something for your community, which is good, and I don't blame you kasi may nakita kang tulong na ginawa directly to you, of course, you would feel obligated to vote, or you would feel, good about voting for him as a way of paying back, right? It's better to look at it from a national perspective pa rin. To put it this way, I do not gain anything from whoever wins the election. I will not see a benefit personally to me with whoever wins the election. Wala akong makikitang kahit na anong benefit that directly affects me. And if magnanakaw yung kandidato, wala rin akong mararamdaman doon. Ang pinaka-affected ay ang pinaka-mahirap sa ating bansa. Yun ang unfortunate. But yet, kahit na I don't know the other candidates, nor have I met them. Nor will I benefit if they win. Okay, I have nothing to gain out of them winning. And even if I have nothing to gain personally, I will still pick the right candidate that I feel will be best for all Filipinos. Especially to all the marginalized Filipinos, the urban poor, the rural folks, the ones that need the help the most. I will vote for the right person so that the people that need our government to support them the most will give them that support. Not for my own benefit. Hindi ako boboto para sa aking benepisyo. Boboto akong tama para sa benepisyo ng aking mga kababayan. If you're the last type of Marcos supporter naman, that you're supporting Marcos because everyone seems to support him and parang everyone is talking about BBM, so doon na lang tayo kasi mukhang popular opinion, then let me offer you this. That consider the fact that you look at all the other candidates and ask yourself who is the best candidate. And choose the best candidate based from a criteria. Now, I've heard the criteria that all BBM supporters have been saying. Number one, they say that he's a good leader. Number two, that he's a great public speaker and an orator and a debater. And that he is a courageous leader. Okay. And that if we look at his credentials, that he has the credentials and the experience to be able to lead this country. Yes, you can believe that. But please look at it from a factual perspective. Yun lang. Just look at it that way lang. And again, I could be wrong. You could probably be right. But look at it from a perspective lang of sino bang pinaka-okay na kandidato. So let's look at it from a perspective of accomplishments. What has BBM done? What has the other candidates done? Lacson, Isko, Lenny, all have done quite a bit. Even Pacquiao. What has BBM done compared to them? Think about that. All right? Number one. Number two, think about, yung track record, the credentials, tingnan natin yun. All right? And ask yourself, out of the candidates I mentioned to you, who has the best track record? And line item it if you want. Okay? Number two, look at it from a leadership perspective. Who is the best leader? And who is somebody who can command an audience, di ba? Somebody who has the charisma to be able to draw people to him or her. And then you realize, is BBM the best for it? You've heard him speak, right? Naintindihan ba niyo yung sinasabi niya? I've heard him speak. And I'm not making fun of BBM. It's just that, honestly, he's not the best speaker. He's not the best speaker and he's not the best debater. All right? And I think that's also why he's not attending the debates. Which leads me to my next point. You need a leader that's courageous. Nahaharap sa kahit na anong hamon. And you need a leader that's gonna show up. That's what a leader does. They show up. Alam mo, kung nasa tama ka, wala kang takot humarap kahit kanino. At kung nasa tama ka, kahit na ano pang ibato sa'yo, kaya mong ipaglaban at panindigan. Yon. Kaya ba ni BBM yan? Umatras na siya sa karamihan ng mga debates. And yes, you can say, dahil alam mo naman na they're probably just going to attack him, ganun. Pero kung wala ka namang ginawang mali, bakit takot kang humarap? At kung magaling ka makipagdebate, bakit takot kang humarap? And sa totoo lang, pakinggan mo talaga kung paano siya makipagdebate at magsalita, mahina talaga. Yun lang naman. I'm being objective. The others are much better. Actually, I even liked Lodi de Guzman. I thought that, I think that's his name. My God, matapang! So, you look at all the traits that you want sa isang leader, sa isang pwedeng maging presidente. And tanungin mo kung which one of the candidates I mentioned. So, let's go with Lacson, Pacquiao, Isko, Lenny, and BBM, and ask yourself which one of these five really fits yung hinahanap nyo in a leader. Leadership, courage, heart, good speaker, credentials, may experience, and can really get the job done. And I think if you objectively think about it, you will find your answer. Okay? The problem that we have, and all of us, by the way, I'm also making a video for all other supporters, not just BBM supporters. The problem with everyone is we tend to decide emotionally, not logically. We tend to decide emotion and then we'll justify it logically. We'll try to make sense of our emotions on how we decided. Kahit na it doesn't make sense. Baliktarin nyo yun. Have a contradiction bias. Challenge your opinion. And I know, by the way, that somebody said, I saw people that said, magaling kay BBM, he's so professional and he's of good breeding because hindi niya pinapatulan daw yung mga nakikriticize sa kanya. Actually, it's not breeding or professionalism. It's because he knows na wala naman siya masasabi na sa mga binato sa kanya because they're all true. How do you defend yourself when you know that everything that was said about you and your family is true? Yun lang. And I'll add lang na hindi pa ba kayo pagod sa corruption? Kasi tingnan mo lang yung mga nag-endorse kay BBM, yung mga sumusuporta sa kanya. the Estradas, the Arroyos, the Revillas, the Enriles, and we all know naman. There are a lot of politicians that are corrupt, extremely corrupt, at mga political dynasties that are supporting BBM. And I'm just tired of corruption. Yun lang. So, pag-isipan lang natin yun because marami namang kandidato na malinis ang record compared to BBM and his family. And trust me, if BBM is willing to pay 120 million to Tony Gonzaga, I mean, that's somebody who's very desperate to win the position of president. And why do you think is he willing to pay that much money to win? Because yung kaban ng bansa ay mas malaki pa sa kahit na anong ilalabas niyang pera ngayon na pwede niyang gamitin para pagkakitaan. And that's it. And at the end of the day, I know that all of you BBM supporters are very intelligent people that know how to make the right decision. And I know that if you look at the facts, that you will make the right decision for our country and for all Filipinos. And with that, thank you for making it this far into this podcast and listening. And I appreciate you and I love you all. And whoever wins, and if BBM wins, and if that's the will of the people, then I'll accept that. And that will be what our future will hold for our country. This is Chris Tan, and that's my daily thought bubble.
So ayun, panood nyo na po yung video at medyo talagang maraming tatamaan po dyan sa video ni Sir Chris Tan na yan. At ito malinaw naman yung pinupunto dito, di ba? Wala naman tayo dito para pagbaguhin ang kanilang mga isip. Ang gusto lang ako, katulad ko, ang gusto ko lang din naman ay maging matalino ang ating mga kababayang Pilipino sa pagpili ng kanilang susunod na presidente. Kasi ako naging matalino ko sa pagpili ng aking kandidato. Ayaw ko sa may history ng pagnanakaw, may history ng kahinaan, may history ng hindi pagbabayad ng buwis, may history ng hindi pakikipagkasundo sa kanyang presidente, may history ng katibayan na siya lamang ay isang inuudyukan o kumbaga parang ginagawang puppet, may history ng karahasan, may history ng pagnanakaw ng pamilya at maraming pang history. So para sa akin nag-iisa lamang si Yorme na nararapat malagay sa history ng Pilipinas na nag-iisang presidente na talaga namang batang-bata. Binago ang lipunan, binago ang gobyerno, pinabagsak ang mga korap at kinalaban ang mga kumakalaban sa soberenya ng ating bansa at poprotektahan po tayo sa lahat ng antas ng buhay. Poprotektahan tayo against sa korupsyon, poprotektahan tayo against sa mga gumagawa ng karahasan, poprotektahan tayo sa mga nagpapalaganap ng illegal na droga, poprotektahan tayo sa mga nananakit, sa mga nananakit na mga tao na nandyan sa ating paligid-ligid lamang. At syempre, ang isang-isa pa, poprotektahan tayo mga kabataan. Yan po ang aking sinusuportahan na presidente. Poprotektahan tayo at yan po si Yorme Isko Moreno Domagoso, number 3 po sa balota. At salamat po dito kay Sir Kristan sa napakatalino po niyang pagbibigay ng puntos dito. Unang-una na, syempre nga naman, yung tatlong dahilan kung bakit dapat na iboto dapat hindi iboto itong si Marcos Jr. At kumbaga mabigat po talaga yung paratang. Actually, hindi nga paratang yun Maraming katibayan ng karahasan na naganap noong martial law na hanggang ngayon ay walang remorse. Walang pinapakitang paghingi man lang ng tawad nitong si Marcos Jr. at patuloy nga pong nagtatamasa ang kanyang pamilya dito sa sinasabing nakaw na yaman na napakarami na pong nakapagpatunay. Napakarami na pong katibayan diyan ng kanilang pagnanakaw sa kaban ng bayan nitong si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Napakarami na po dyan, hindi po lihim yan. Diba? So, ano pa ba ang gustong marinig nitong mga tanso na ito? Ano pa ba ang gustong marinig nitong ating mga kababayan? At ano pa ba ang dapat ipaliwanag pagdating dito sa bagay-bagay na ito na talaga namang isang bukas na libro sa lahat. Nandiyan sa Google, nandiyan sa mga libro, nandiyan sa lahat ng pahina ng mga dyaryo, magazine at mga meron pa nga diary, 'di ba? Meron pa nga diary, meron pa ako nakita diyan na diary Mga libro. Nandiyan lahat. So, ako po, ayoko po na bumalik ang mga magnanakaw. Ayoko pong bumalik ang mga tao na talaga namang nagpapagulo sa ating bayan. Napakahirap po niyan at tayo po ay talaga namang lalo lang maghihirap at lalo lang po tayong masasakdal sa lusak kapag ang namuno ay mahina at meron pong masamang nakaraan. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat at salamat po sa suporta. Mama Chup Chup po, 290,304 na po tayo sa aking huling pagtingin dito sa aking subscribers dito sa YouTube. So, salamat po at syempre salamat din kay Yorme. Natulungan ako ni Yorme na tumaas ang aking subscribers. 5,200 plus na po ang nadagdag in the past 28 days. So, thank you po Yorme. At sa inyo pong lahat ng mga Iskonian Scholars, Yormelicious, salamat po. So, switch to Isko na tayo. God first, Bilis Kilos Pilipinas. Bye-bye. God bless us all.
Hi, Makmak Pablo. Oy, maraming salamat sa iyo sa lahat ng suporta mo sa amin. Mag-iingat ka. I wish you all the best and good health. And may God continue to guide and bless you. And I hope someday, ma-meet ko kayo. Ingat ka. Maraming salamat.
What's up mga tropa pips?